Hey, this is Gio, and welcome to an exciting module about the power of water. You will learn about amazing things that water can do for you and that you can do with water. For me, everything that I'm going to tell you about has been a revelation, and I had no idea of all these deep and subtle uses of water. Let's begin. We will start with the findings of Dr. Masaru Emoto. He's a Japanese scientist, author of several books like The Messages from Water, The Hidden Messages in Water, The True Power of Water, and Love Thyself. Together with his team, he succeeded in proving that water has memory and that its structure can be changed by human intention. He performed several experiments, placing written labels on glasses of water, exposing water to music and various pleasant, annoying, or violent sounds, and speaking to water and giving nice or mean messages. He then placed the water in the freezer and noticed that all water that had received positive messages or sounds had formed harmonious and amazingly beautiful and regular crystals, while the water that had received negative energies had formed ugly and irregular crystals. More details can be found on Dr. Emoto's website. Please find it here. I'm sure some of you have heard of Dr. Masaru Emoto. How about Dr. Jacques Benveniste? Have you heard about him? Well, let's speak about him in our next slide. Dr. Jacques Benveniste. He's a French researcher who managed to ruin his career for his findings about water, findings that he insisted to publish. His experiment started with the same source of water given to different people. After touching and holding it, drops were placed under the microscope. It formed interesting images, following amazing rules. All the drops touched by the same person were the same, but totally different from those of other people. Interesting, right? Again, he tried another experiment. He took water from the same source as before, but this time it was put in different pots, and in each pot another flower was sunk. The drops from the same flower were the same, no matter how many times the experiment was repeated, but totally different from those from other flowers. Get the idea? He proved again and again that water takes the characteristics of the beings coming in contact with it, no matter if they are human or plants. So obviously water can be programmed. Its structure can be changed. And before learning about practical techniques with water, one more scientist. We're going to talk about the water wizard's findings. And the water wizard is Victor Schauberger. He was an Austrian forester. He spent tens of years in the forest. He was a naturalist, philosopher, and inventor who studied water in its natural environment for over 30 years and found some amazing things about it. He published The Water Wizard, Nature as Teacher, The Fertile Earth, and the Energy Evolution. The Water Wizard is a more technical book, but it's really interesting for those who have the time and the energy to read it. I completely recommend it. He found out, after years of studying water, that there is more energy in every drop of spring water than a medium-sized power plant can currently produce. Unbelievable. Water is the foundation of life, obviously. It resembles the blood in the body, the most important life-giving substance and generator of energy on the planet. However, if handled incorrectly, which is done so much, especially in cities, with ignorance, it becomes ill, affecting people, animals, and plants, causing physical weakness, and in the case of humans, it also causes moral, mental, and spiritual damage. So, do you understand now why water is so important? You cannot drink just any water you find. As a natural organism, water is formed and functions according to the laws and geometry of nature. Geometry that doesn't involve straight lines, dots, and circles. And why am I speaking about geometry? Because quality water must form specific vortices. If it doesn't, it's not quality water. In nature, water forms these vortices. But transporting water through pipes and the changes of river courses by dams greatly affect the quality and energy of the water we consume. So what should you remember? Drink water from natural sources only. Water coming through pipes and treated with chemicals can harm you both physically and spiritually, and its energy is no longer positive. Let's move on to more practical ideas and techniques. Programming water by yourselves. Remember these ideas. The human body is made up of over 70% water, this mysterious liquid with memory that can be programmed. And this is something that happened to me. In a group on some social media platform, a while ago, a mother complained that her child is very agitated since she gives him his morning tea from a new cup. A cup that had some ugly and aggressive monsters printed on. Well, are you starting to get the idea? Most of what we eat contains water, and we are surrounded by so much water. So remember Dr. Emoto and Dr. Benveniste's experiments. Written tags on water, words spoken to water, music, sounds, energy sent to water by touching it, have a great impact on it. And I don't mean water only by everything containing water. I mean you, your food and drinks, the water you use for your bath, or the water you use to water your plants. Even a t-shirt with the negative messages you wear can impact you in a negative way because you contain water, and that message is programming the water inside you. Interesting, right? You can create powerful remedies by sticking written tags on glasses of water, the water you drink. Write words with love, health, happiness, courage, abundance, and see the results. Or write the names of homeopathy remedies. You won't need to buy them anymore. We will speak about homeopathy and Bach floral remedies in a later module. Well, interesting all these ideas, right? Be very careful what cup you use to drink your water from. What message does it have printed on it? Look closely at your clothes, at your children's clothes. What message do they have printed on them? So, make sure that all the water you consume is programmed in a positive way. It's very important for your well-being. Let's move on to a new, interesting, and mind-blowing idea. The connection with your ancestors through water. This is something amazing that blew my mind when I heard about it. A while ago, I watched a short video that was an amazing revelation to me. Only one main idea needs to be remembered. Water that we see around us today, that we drink, that we bathe in, is the exact same liquid that our ancestors hundreds and thousands of years ago used. So, since water can be programmed, it's an amazing database of energies, both ours and theirs, and of thoughts and of information. So how can we use it? Well, when you touch water, be more aware that you have access to a huge database of information and energy. Try to connect and use it. Try to revive all memories, to heal old traumas, to connect to your ancestors. Don't just drink water and forget about it. Drink water in a conscious manner. Think about it. Let's move on to other practical ideas. Some ideas about water from Anastasia, the main character in the series of books The Ringing Cedars of Russia, written by Vladimir Megre. It's a series of 11 books which offer a great deal of information about our place here on Earth and the way we should behave. The Ringing Cedars of Russia offers advice to people about a lifestyle in accordance with God's laws, about the education and upbringing of children, the role and importance of gardening, the influence of thoughts and emotions, the universe, how to pray effectively, and much more. So let's see what she tells us about water. Living water is the only healthy water for humans. Bottled water that a lot of people drink is not 100% living water. Living water is surface water, while underground water is dead water. A technique to make good drinking water: place underground water in a clay pot for about 3 hours in the sun. Then move it in the shade to return to a good temperature. And then drink it. Then it has become living water that is good for you. What else? In the evening, for your health, you must wash your feet with nettle juice placed in water, which facilitates the elimination of toxins. And the water must be then poured into the garden. The plants that will receive that water will get to know you. They will be able to analyze it and produce fruit adapted to the health and needs of those who live in that garden. Very important. So all your information goes through water to the plants in your garden, and they are able to produce fruit adapted to your needs. Still from Anastasia, about the speed of people's thoughts. It can be slowed down in certain ways, and together with the thoughts, the power to change their lives, to manifest what they want. What am I trying to say? That some people may try to slow down other people's speed of thoughts in order to enslave and manipulate them. The speed of thoughts affects your power to change your life and to manifest what you want. And that can be done by daily routine that keeps your mind busy, by interrupting your meditation process, by poor quality food, poor quality water, and poor quality air. So be very careful what water you drink. Very careful. Hunger and thirst must be dealt with when they occur, not at fixed hours or after schedules made by others. Your body is the only one who knows what it needs. So, drink when you are thirsty and as much water as you feel, not necessarily as much as some nutritionists recommend for you. You're the only one who knows. And one more interesting idea from these books. Once a year, on a night known only to her, Anastasia immersed herself for a whole night in the lake in the meadow. She lives in the forest, and in her meadow, she had a lake. During that night, she managed to connect with the database of the universe and download a huge amount of information that she used later on to help people. That's all about Anastasia from the Ringing Cedars of Russia. Let's move on to other useful techniques that you can try with water. Have you heard about Shungite? It comes from Russia. It's a mysterious black stone that can be found only in one place on Earth, the Republic of Karelia in Russia. And it's an amazing stone that, placed in water, changes its properties and its health benefits for you tremendously. Let's see. Tens and hundreds of researches carried out in Russian institutes proved to the healing powers of this unique mineral. For anemia, various types of allergies, diabetes, cancers, asthma, liver and kidney diseases, pancreatic, bladder, osteomuscular, respiratory tract diseases, hypertension, cardiovascular, diseases of the immune system, diminished sexual dynamics, chronic fatigue syndrome. This is a huge list. And what's even more interesting is that although it contains almost all the elements of Mendeleev's table, the Shungite releases to water only the elements beneficial to the organism and only in the beneficial concentration to man. Shungite, how can it be used? It's placed in water. It's used to purify water. In a proportion of 1 to 10, Shungite to water. You keep the crystals in the water for maximum 3 days. Then after 3 days, place them in the sun to charge. And after they have been charged, you can use them again. But make sure you change them every 6 months. It's an amazing crystal, the benefits of which you should obviously try. Now, a little bit about other crystals that you can use for connecting with water. Because Shungite is not the only one. Royal Aura Quartz is one of them. Aura quartz is a type of crystals that combine clear quartz with various metals like cobalt, platinum, gold, silver, in an environment with a high temperature which allows the metal to penetrate into the quartz, creating therefore a special crystal that has the properties of both the metals and both the quartz. Royal Aura Quartz is quartz combined with cobalt, and It resonates with water. It can be used to purify it, to connect with it, to meditate near it. It can be used to help you rehydrate yourself if you have been thirsty for a long while. It can help you rehydrate your plants, and it can bring rain to drought areas. Just place it in water, pointing towards the sky, and of course, wishing for rain. Another crystal that is great with water is aquamarine. It teaches you to respect water, to understand its flow, to connect with it. It's a beautiful blue crystal, of course. It also helps purify water and the environment that water creatures live in, like dolphins, whales, seals. It can be used to send positive intentions for purification of seas and oceans and so on. To choose, purify, charge, and use crystals correctly, please go to Module 10, The Power of Crystals, and then come back here to read again about the crystals you can use in connection with water. Now, a little bit about dehydration, because it's an important phenomenon that can be very harmful to you, both mentally, spiritually, and in terms of your body, physically, of course. The information in the human body flows by electric impulses. As electric current is best transferred in salty water, the same is with humans, since about 70% of our body is made of water. We need salts and enough water to create the proper environment for the information transmission inside our body. So remember, eat as much salt as you feel you should, so as much as your body asks for. Then drink as much water as your body tells you to, because your body is the only guide you have. There's no correct advice from nobody outside your own body. Nobody knows how much water or salt you need. You're the only one who can tell. So drink as much water as you feel you need and eat as much salt. If you feel you can't focus, for example, you can't sleep or function properly, drink some water and you will feel balanced again. It means that you may be dehydrated. You can also try to create living water by placing pieces of organic fruit or herbs in water and leaving them for a few hours. Water quality will be improved. This is all about the power of water and all the techniques that you can use to make the best of it. Thank you for watching this module, and please join me in the next one about the power of food and air. Love, Geo.